teach you guys some life skills on what everything costs. Let's go spend.
I don't know. My daughter's 29 and she was the same way when she came over. She wanted to go to the outlets.
Yeah.
And I had to. It made me.
So we did outlets, we did the escape room. I was impressed. They got out of the escape room very quickly. Yeah, quickly they got out.
Easy.
Yeah, no, yeah. It was like a 36% success rate or 42. And I was like, all right, next time we're gonna get one with under 20% success rate. All right, I call to order the counties of Warren and Washington Industrial Development Agency Executive and Park Committee meeting on January 8th, 2025 at 9 a.m. Roll call, Ally.
Tim Robinson,
I'm here.
Dan Bruno,
Here.
Juan Gonzalez.
Here.
We have a quorum. We have 3 out of 5.
We have any online guests currently?
I see Bob Holmes coming.
No, sir.
And we,
Yeah, he
Bob
called me
Holmes.
last night and said he'd be in, by the way, but he might have to leave for a 10 o'clock commitment.
Okay.
So, if I could offer that when we want to talk about the partial appraisal for the airport industrial park.
We'll move that up to the first topic at the committee on the report committees. All right, everybody received in the packet the minutes of the October 9th, 2024 IDA Executive Park meeting. I would entertain a motion to accept those minutes. And second, any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed or abstain? All right, motion carries and it's approved. All right, Chuck, start us on and on the airport industrial park.
Okay,
Perfect timing.
perfect timing. And we moved the appraisal up to the beginning. Have a seat. You're welcome. Good morning. Happy New Year. I'm flying in from 4 different directions and I don't even have my notes with me, so. Well, you'll be okay for the discussion. Okay. So as a reminder, we reached out to a firm to do an appraisal on the 3 different areas of the airport industrial park, 2 wetland areas and the 1 area at the end of Ferguson Lane. Discussion purposes, it's 25 acres, 25.8 to be precise, of which 17.7 is developable. The appraiser's been working on this. He's waiting for additional information to complete the wetland portion. So for this meeting, I asked him to send us his completed partial report on the Ferguson Lane property, and that has been distributed. The answer as far as the market value is on page, I believe, 24. Bear with me as I double check that.
Do they need wetland information I have, or is it something else they're looking at?
No, they have all our information.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I moved it up. I didn't prepare.
Conclusion 34.
It is, so thank you. Is that the page 34?
Yes.
Okay.
There was a 4.
Yeah, the 4. I goofed myself up by moving everything up and not preparing. So on page 34, you'll see that the market value of the subject property as of November 1st, 2024 is fully represented a total amount of $265,000, which was basically the same number we had talked about in the previous meeting. But however, that assumed that all utilities would come to the property line. We have, with Mr. Holmes, have looked at the situation with utilities and also reached out to National Grid and estimated what would be involved to extend the public water, sewer, and electricity to the property line. The approximate estimate is $115,000. That could be less expensive if privately done, but in fairness of the appraisal, that needed to be recognized. So I just wanted to make the group aware that this has been completed. It's now public information. We do have a party that's interested in the site. So they'll obviously see this report and might want to come back and talk to us about the proposed sale price of the property. Meanwhile, that prospective buyer is working on some engineering plans to present to us to do an application to buy the land. So I just wanted to do that update with this group, to buy the land,
Right.
to buy the 25 acres.
Not incentives.
To be determined. I don't think so. I don't think so,
Right.
but to be determined. But I just wanted to, again, alert the board that this has been completed, it's publicly available information, and there's more to come. There's really no action, it's just an update on the appraisal. Any questions?
Likely offer maybe 150.
Yeah, it's just see what happens, what transpires. I mean, this is all data driven, and we'll see, you know, what they want to do with it.
Yeah.
I don't want to negotiate on their behalf.
Yeah. Well, I'm just thinking out loud. Of course it is.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
I looked at it, I thought they did a good job.
Yeah,
absolutely.
very thorough.
Very.
And the comparables, and he said the value is a little higher than he expected because the comparables have been increasing.
Right.
So, this is, you know, true representation of market value right now, as expected.
So we have,
So-
go ahead, please.
We get rid of this and then we're pretty much done,
Well, then we got the wetlands.
except, as I say,
But it happened to be that this person doing the appraisal is associated with Rotary, and they have a program with planting trees in wetland related areas. And he's got a creative idea that he, independently of what he's working on, may be able to help us on. So more to come with that too. And he's also, anyways, there are some brewing opportunities that could be a win for us and a win for the local community.
wellness,
For planting?
Well, we're going a little deep with growing hemlock trees,
Okay,
hemlock tree farm, something like that, or
in the wetland?
he said apparently, he's a tree expert, that hemlocks like that.
They like wet
particular-
feet.
Right. And anyways, we're going deep. There's more to come on this.
Why bother? I mean, it's locked up, it'll grow back, but I mean, if that's an attractive feature that people like, but I don't think it is.
Well,
an issue.
it also, I mean, I'm going a little deep, it could go into land conservation
Yes.
for growth of trees. It's low cost, no cost to us, and it gets us out of the airport industrial park land ownership business. Who knows? Again,
Meaning you.
so we've been in that
divest
business for
everything.
how long now?
not a long time. There's more to come.
50, 60,
Yeah.
70
Yeah,
years.
we're trying to be out of that.
And I get it. I mean, phase one was what?
And
early
we're
70s?
exploring many other ideas.
Like they-
And that's what, that
50
was gonna
years.
get to my point, but go ahead.
No,
You know, is, so independent of that, once we get the appraisal prices of the wetlands, that's what we're gonna attach to our letter to the neighbors to let them know that. they're-
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah, and he does think the value is not zero. There is some value. And he's actually working with the DEC on comparable values of wetland properties. So he's, just like you see in this report for his appraisal, he's going deep, and I think we'll get a very robust report from him on the valuation of that land.
what would the value be?
Well, it's gonna be,
Duck farm
it's
or?
gonna be low, but it's, you know, it's not gonna be zero,
and it allows us to get our due diligence on there.
precisely.
Perfect.
Good.
Good.
That's it on the appraisal, unless there are any further questions or discussion.
Anything else on the airport industrial park from anyone? All right, park chair, over to you.
No report this month.
Good. All right, Chuck, take it away, canal side.
Canal side, okay, let's see, as a reminder with the wastewater option, we have now learned the DC is open to learning more about the alternative analysis of an on-site treatment facility. Specifically, we would use our 25,000 square foot building to house the treatment equipment and then utilize an existing discharge into the canal. DEC was okay with the discharge into the canal. Labella is starting to conceptually scope out the opportunity. So that's good news that we could have a viable alternative as we work with the sewer related issues for canal side. The second topic regards the water district. We held a meeting with the town, village, and Labella on December 18th. Also, all attorneys of those organizations were in the room. There was good discussion, several ideas that floated around. And then at the end of the meeting, we concluded it would be prudent for the attorneys to get back together to further vet out some of the ideas. They did, actually they did on December 26th. And now I understand from Kara, they're full steam ahead with the town establishing a water district and contracting with the village. And with that, I'll turn it over to Kara.
Yeah, so the town is agreeable to, establish the water district and, work with the village on the agreements that they need as far as, the, supply and things like that. They already have a district in the town that operates like that, so it shouldn't be too much of a heavy lift. They have the agreements in place. I know that Sean is working on his comments to the map planner report, and as soon as I know from Labella when those comments obviously have to be vetted, whatever modifications to the map plan report, we have to include the numbers for, costs, etc. And then I'll be able to back into the dates with the town as far as getting that on their agenda to commence the establishment process. But it shouldn't take too long because we're the only user, we can waive some of those permissive referendum timeframes and things like that. So I think we're maybe, if they move forward, it would probably be like 2 to 3 months to complete the formation process. But it's just a matter of when we can get that first on the agenda. But we can consolidate and or skip some of the steps because we can waive them because we're the only user in the.
So let me just point out, that is our main path for the water solution. Meanwhile, during the holidays, Terry Middleton from the town of Fort Edward did point out that there is a water source from the town nearby.
Yeah.
And in the spirit of exploring ideas, we are going to ask Labella just to double check that water line and whether it would be adequate. There would be some distance to run, but if it is high pressure and high volume, that's a big if, then, maybe it could allow us to not have to do a tank. But again, it's an if. There's a 10-inch line on Ferguson, not Ferguson, Burgoyne Avenue. So we'll explore that, but I think there's a low chance of probability of success, but in the spirit of checking out, we're gonna check out.
That'd be a fair run.
Yeah,
They'd come off of what, McIntyre or something like that?
Yeah, and, with that, plus just the pressure and volume required, depending upon the building and such, hey, it'd be great if it.
yeah, and I didn't wanna say no, let's get the technical folks involved to see if there's something there. Maybe we would be pleasantly surprised. But meanwhile, I think we still go with the path that we're currently on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I just didn't want to be surprised if that issue surfaces. And that's it on the project update. I can run into some tenant issues if we want to move on to tenant issues. In your board package, there is a NYSERDA site analysis. I know it's a little dense, but I can simplify things by just hitting 2 pages. If you go to page 3, and you don't have to have it, I'll just summarize some of the issues. I'll just read from this that NYSERDA had hired a firm called GLS to conduct a simulated site selection evaluation for the clean energy manufacturing sectors identified by CERTA. For each industry subsector, GLS assessed the advantages and disadvantages of each site. By the way, there are 20 sites in New York State. We were one of the 20, of course. Each site in terms of its ability to attract the targeted industries compared to its competitors on a national basis. The industries were battery manufacturing, solar panel manufacturing, transportation EV manufacturing, turbine manufacturing, and transformer manufacturing. So from there, if you then go to page 11, and again, you don't have to have it all, summarize it. At the bottom of the page, there's a little tiny table that color codes the, where our site, canal side, landed with each one of those 5 industries. So I will summarize that. For the battery industry, it was identified our site as a fatal flaw. And I think that was primarily related to a couple issues: lack of electricity. We have good electricity, but they need more. Lack of water and the wastewater. So the battery manufacturing needs high water, high sewer, and high energy. We have some of those, but not enough. The solar manufacturing was given a rating of marginal, and the remaining 3 were given a rating of advanced, meaning very positive, and those for transportation, turbine, and transformer related manufacturing. So now this resides with the NYSERDA's database, and as site selectors come to them, they'll have the database, and perhaps we'll pick somebody up from one of these industries we've been rated high that will come and express interest into our park.
The advanced is just the top category.
It is.
For
It
the
is.
exploration.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, very good rating. So it was a lot of work downloading the information or uploading the information, but I think now we're on the radar screen, and yet another venue obviously works to our advantage. So with that, that's it on that initiative. Unless there are any questions.
No question, just to point out to, once you send this to the full board, to let them know page 11 is required reading. That
Yes.
really the advantages and disadvantages of the site, they laid it out exceptionally well.
Yeah, that's the key page, absolutely. Okay. The other issue related to the park, it's not a tenant issue, it's a neighbor issue. As a reminder, one of our neighbors, Therese Gillis, lives on the other side of the canal. And she had previously requested to plant additional trees, in front trees that GE actually planted on her behalf to block visibility to the Canal Side Energy Park. The trees there she has there now are 20 feet tall. They've thinned a little bit. We looked during the summer, and with all the foliage up, we did not, as a board, we decided to say, not at this time, we'll wait until we know what's happening with the site. She asked us if we would reconsider that and come back and take a look during the fall when the leaves are down. I did that, and I took pictures, and they're in your board package. So with that, I'll just open the floor for any comments or questions on the request.
I drove over there. It'll not get my vote to spend a dime to plant anything there.
And to talk about that dime, the estimated cost is $10,000. It's public money. If this is the wish of the board or the committee, I'd be happy to get back and say at this time, we are not going to spend $10,000.
I'm open, I understand, and I get, believe me, people's concerns and stuff, but for me, this is a non-starter. It's just, what's your point, kind of?
Is it in anticipation of development of the site?
Well,
Or are there
here's the
existing
pictures, and what happens is these trees, as they get taller, are thinning out a little bit at the bottom. And she'd like,
They're too close.
Well,
yeah,
you're right, though, as they mature, as you know, they mature, and then the bottom becomes more open.
Yep.
Higher up, but, like I said, at this point, without knowing what's going on there, and even if I did know, I just don't see us spending money for this.
Get her a credit up at Soil and Water for your tree sale.
Yeah, I'll do that.
okay. So is that the wish of the board? I'd be happy to communicate back that.
So what is the view that is the issue?
Well, so those
Through
pictures,
those trees.
so I'm
That's a good
So
question.
I'm standing, so the park is on the other side of the trees.
Is this 1 lot away or 2 lots away?
Yes,
Canal.
it's
you
up on a hill.
so you
The
got a
house is
canal.
behind me. That's her front yard. There are the bushes. Go down the hill. There's the road, and there's another lot, and then there's the canal, and then there's the
canal side.
trees. that,
that are over
especially
there.
with foliage that really do block park.
Concrete and all that growth.
Yeah, so we're decent distance
4 or 5
away.
lots, you're talking the street, the.
Well, you got,
lot
she has a
street,
long lot,
you
she
got
has
the
a
canal
street,
side.
there's another lot, thin lot between the street
But
and the
the
canal.
point is, what's your point of view? In other words, the house is way back here. That lot could be 3,000 feet deep, wouldn't matter. It's where's the house? Where are you looking from?
Yeah,
This one's hard for me. Tim, please.
If I had, a neighbor that I was not happy and didn't like what I was seeing, it would be my responsibility to put up barrier, not the neighbor. That's my.
Right, the only caveat, not caveat, but if your neighbor was industrial in nature, which this isn't everything, you might, through the approval process, say, hey, okay,
Nothing wrong
we're
with
good.
approaching.
But, you need to plant a hedge or something there, but
I would say that it's not in my purview to
No.
go for anything at this time.
okay. I'd be, again, happy to communicate that. There's also the precedent issue. So it's a lot of money for a public agency. I think we'd be scrutinized.
I was trying to find the alternative, but I
Very
can't,
select.
so I agree with the other two board
Houses
members.
all along that canal.
Excuse me?
There's houses all along that side of the canal.
Yeah.
Or there's, a lot, but there's more than just this one's house.
Yeah. Okay, all
We haven't heard
right,
any other-
she and I have a good relationship. I'll get back and communicate in a diplomatic manner and, we'll leave it at that. That's it for the, canal side related issues. We're gonna talk about insurance a little bit later, but
Business,
And
yeah.
new business.
the maintenance. I've been out there a couple of times and looking to see, checking up primarily on Everett, his endeavors. Looks good, but I don't think he's done much since you and I were there.
yeah, I think it might slow down during the holidays. It's quite impressive. The northern stormwater basin he's cleaned
Yeah.
out. And now he's gonna go after the southern stormwater basin. And
But I'm looking at that pile,
Yeah.
You should take advantage of the weather with no leaves on those trees and get up there and thin that stuff out.
he has indicated he plans to do that. I'll circle back with him this week and see where he's at.
But other than that, the site is what it is. It looks good.
Yeah, and he's very cost effective at doing this. And if there's something beyond his capability, we'll figure out maybe a tree service to come in, so. Yeah, but it is.
I didn't see anything there that should be much of a challenge to him.
Yeah,
That high amount of dirt has one or two trees on the south side that are, yay big, but again, be able to handle them.
yeah, no, he's handled pretty, at least 6 inch. So, okay.
We had a couple snow days, all the tenants playing well.
Yeah, there's some coordination with snow removal. I did get one email from Kiewit asking to reach out to the town to do a little better job salting. But other than that, everything has been fine. The group between all the tenants and who coordinates who does what, it actually works well.
How about that, alternate access that Kiewit been responsive to any complaints?
Yeah, so just so people know, the mayor received some complaints from people living on East Street with Kiewit trucks in and out. And we communicated to Kiewit, both the mayor's office and Kiewit has said they're gonna take care of it. They typically do. And we really haven't heard anything since.
What do they say, take care of?
Just talk with their employees about utilizing it only under certain circumstances and not just as regular in and out. Yeah. And really the complaints were just that they were seeing the Kiewit trucks more often than not. And so Kiewit need to go around unless there was an imperative reason for them to do the back entrance.
Those are primarily pickup trucks.
Correct.
They're not large.
They're not big, yeah,
Yeah.
primarily pickup trucks. No. They
Get the rails in there.
wouldn't fit out that way.
Oh.
It's just, being responsive to the neighbors as best we can.
There you go.
Plants some trees.
And
Yeah, right in the middle of the road.
All right, and the last update on the bridge, the comments from the public hearing earlier last year, actually now, last year, have gone out and a few more will go out and we'll round that up and then, we'll take the next steps and we'll have an update on the bridge here in a month or two. I think that's it
Except for the insurance.
for canal side.
Yes, I'm sorry, for canal sites, yes.
Any other comments, questions, concerns on canal side? All right, we will close up canal side and airport industrial park. Ongoing business, any ongoing business? All right, new business, insurance.
So, yesterday, we received a proposal from our insurance agent for the renewal of our commercial insurance. I will say that I was a little disappointed that we didn't get this in December and expressed it accordingly, and they have replied that next year we will get this.
I like your comment. Your lateness cannot be more irritating. That was good.
And they did respond to me in a very apologetic and favorable way.
Well, they should. I agree with you 100%.
So, this is coverage, for canal side for, primarily the 3 buildings, along with the general umbrella insurance. The total proposed cost is $19,893 for the year. That's a 5.6% increase. I don't see anything here in this proposal that is of
A
concern.
little over $1,000 than it was from last year.
Right.
5%.
Yeah, 5.6 is actually,
Comparison to
yeah,
what the rest
actually
of the
pretty
world's
good.
saying, yeah.
so besides the lateness of the proposal itself is okay.
Question, when we renegotiate leases with these people in the future, can we put cam charges in?
Yeah.
And taxes and.
Mhm. Yeah, you can put in like a pilot.
Yeah, it's a triple net, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh, it is right now.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So if like,
Oh,
yeah.
so when water comes in, they're responsible.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, the water, there, we hardly get a bill, but we do with electricity for sure,
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
the distribution of electrical charges.
Okay, so that's all part of their monthly bill?
Yeah, we bill them separately on electricity.
Okay.
We do the meter reading, and then Ally does the billing separate. Yeah. So, okay, I guess just committee approval, move forward, we'll bring it to the full board at the board meeting on the 21st for formal approval, but as far as this
All
committee.
right, I would entertain a motion to move the insurance premiums to the full board. Tim, second? Dan, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed or abstain? All right, motion carries.
Should we shop this next year?
We certainly can, we can start that process in the fall, do an RFP and see what we get.
Probably not a bad idea. Great entity associates like them, usually very responsive to what your needs are. I'm sure it's just a one-time oversight.
Right, and I think every 3 years is a healthy thing to do in general,
Yes.
right?
And I don't know when the last time we did.
We're getting 3 years, yeah.
And so I'm clear, is this included in the premium for the add-on to the rental?
No, we do
Not
not,
yet.
we do not pass it along.
No. Oh, yeah, right.
yes.
Within the. Sorry. Just put my phone.
That's it on new business.
All right, any other new business? Any other business at all?
I have one, I just on a personal note, want to mention that I'm getting a new shoulder a week from today. So I will be knocked out for at least a week. And when I get off my medication, I'll be back in front of my computer, although it's my right shoulder and my right hand, and I cannot type with my left hand, so don't expect any long emails. Might be a phone call.
One of these.
I'm already a bad typer.
A lot
I
of
know.
voice effects, huh?
Oh, yeah. Voice effects, yeah, and you gotta be so
Yeah.
precise. It's very difficult.
Or else you were.
Yeah,
Right, foolish.
Yeah.
It's a lot better off your cell phone.
yeah. Is it?
Oh, yeah, at least with mine.
Yeah.
I've done it in the past.
All right, maybe I'll do more texting than.
So you're getting a new shoulder. What do they do with the old one? Send it out and have it rebuilt?
I don't want to think what they do with the older one.
No, that's good.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it, but I'll just, again, be out of commission a little bit.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
Local? You're going down to Albany?
Albany, Bone and Joint.
All right, any other business? Any public comments?
No.
Anybody wish to be heard? Is there anybody that wishes to speak? Nope. Having called for public comments 3 times and hearing none, I will entertain a motion to adjourn our meeting. Dan, second?
I'll second.
Dan, all in favor? Meeting's adjourned. Thank you.